Football mirrors nature. The desire to survive, either death or relegation.
It's all over.
Whichever is worse.
So is life in the Premiership for Leeds United.
The beautiful wildlife in all forms.
I contend that I'm gorgeous.
However, not all wildlife is beautiful. Predators hunt prey, and prey die. Zebras get killed by lions, as defenders get skimmed by Louis.
That's a lovely nutmeg. And Suarez! Oh, what a goal!
Luis Suarez. This is the time where one beautiful, rare Serbian Ivanovic was hunted by one great white swag. (22nd of April, 2013). Liverpool host Chelsea at Anfield. Big match, with Chelsea's Champions League hopes on the line, and Benitez returning to Liverpool. Anfield's buzzing, excited for the game. Maybe too excited. Anyway, starting lineups: Liverpool, Rayner, Johnson, Agger, Carragher, Jerriger. Who cares? It's the Luis Suarez show, dragging this team to the top 8.
Still going, Rodriguez. Still going, Rodriguez. Shoots, save, follow up.
3-1. Chelsea, Cech, Aspi, and Ivanovic. Foreshadowing? Also, remember Oscar? Initiate match. Minute 25. Liverpool concede a corner. The Spanish Beckham whips in a ball, and Oscar easily heads in the first for Chelsea. Carragher is not amused. 1-up to Chelsea. Minute 51. Carragher goes long to Henderson.
Downing.
To Suarez.
Suarez.
To Sturridge.
Sturridge.
Carragher redeems himself. 1-1. Minute 54. Chelsea have a set piece, but Suarez manhandles the ball, and it's a penalty.
It is. It's a penalty.
Hazard scores. It was at this exact moment the gears turned in Suarez's head. The red mist had dropped. Shark attack. Shark attack.
Sturridge.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting
Suarez.
Let's see a replay.
It certainly looks like he's opening his mouth.
Now, can we see it in slow-mo? Of course, Suarez would score an equaliser in the 96th minute. But who cares about the actual football? Let's cut to the straight reactions, right when Suarez sunk his fangs in. First, denial.
Branislav Ivanovic is insinuating here that Luis Suarez beating.
Then, bemusement.
He's sunk his teeth in there, has he? That's what it looks like, anyway. Oh my word.
Then, anger.
That very much looks as if he has actually bitten Branislav Ivanovic, and that just has no place in the game. I can't understand what he's thinking about.
Of course, some Liverpool fans didn't get past the denial stage.
Should he be doing that sort of thing? Has he done it? Oh yeah, you prove it. You prove it. Show us the fight, Mark.
There were no bite marks, by the way. Others thought, go with me here, that Suarez was actually being very affectionate to Mr. Ivanovic, like a mother to a baby.
Luis Suarez, when you got a baby's belly and you go, oh, to it, and the baby feels lovely, that's all he was doing. He wasn't being nasty.
Quite a unique take. The prevailing fan opinion seemed to be, well, other people have done stuff bad, so it's all good.
So the fact that he's made one, you know, in the heat of the moment, many people do like a lot of things. So, you know, in the heat of the moment, you know what you do.
Anything?
Or blaming Ivanovic for being simply too tasty.
Ivanovic must have done something wrong. I didn't see what happened. But Ivanovic must have provoked him to bite him. Suarez was not a bitter for nothing at all.
The man is a Premier League winner after all. Okay. Let's give the man the benefit of the doubt. It's not like he has any history of this, or...
I know he was guilty of that in Holland. Yeah.
Hold on.
No.
Yes, absolutely hold on. Because you did just hear that correctly. It turns out Bite 1 was actually Bite 2, Electric Boogaloo. This fiasco had already happened back in the Netherlands. Here's the footage.
That's why I love Nestle Crunch.
The Dutch, being sensible, simply did two things.
U kunt nu meteen komen zetten. Mooi.
Ajax got the idiot to apologise.
Hola a todos. La situación que pasó en el partido contra el PSV. Perdón por la situación. Muchas gracias por escuchar.
I've seen more sincere apologies on YouTube Drama.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
And the media said how much of an idiot he was on live TV.
Bij het moment met Suarez bedoel je? Ja, die haalt ze op een gegeven moment haalt hij ze nog uit elkaar. Misschien dat we het moment nog een keertje terug kunnen halen.
Not the best, but situation over. However, in England, we don't do that here. The bite went viral. Newspapers had a field day. Bakal himself, the original bite victim, weighed in, calling it, quote, unbelievable.
What are the odds?
The issue was such a matter of national importance, more than children starving in Britain and politics and all that unimportant stuff, that David Cameron himself weighed in, calling for the FA to take mass action against Luis Suarez. Of course, he had just seen his beloved Villa beaten a week earlier, so maybe it was sour grapes. Or is he a West Ham fan?
Of course, I'd rather you supported West Ham.
In hindsight, who really cares what this man has to say? Perhaps the most qualified of all people decided to comment upon the matter. Another professional biter, Mike Tyson. Mike simply didn't understand what the problem was about. You see, and this is a direct quote, he bit someone, it happens. Interestingly, statistically, Mike Tyson's pretty correct. Astonishingly, what is wrong with people? To cap it off, Tyson gave Suarez a Twitter follow. My investigations have not been able to determine if they are best mates now, but there is a high probability. Amongst all the discussion, a shining beacon of rationality and intelligence offered his own running commentary. Here's Morgan. Enter the running commentary.
Wait, did Suarez just eat someone? While Suarez has form for shoulder biting, you'll never chomp alone. Suarez just ate the Chelsea defense for dessert. Thanks for the memories. What more has he got to do? Actually eat an entire opponent on the pitch.
Piers Morgan was absolutely destroying and owning the Livs. Or should I say, the Liverpool fans.
The ratings are the highest they've ever been.
Time for his ultimate tactical nuke. Hashtag Cannibal Suarez. Twitter was prime for a high quantity of circa 2013 dank memes. Here are some of them. Liverpool went into crisis control mode. Suarez was ordered to apologise in an immediate club statement and over Twitter. However, just like his last apology, it was pretty half-hearted. Fans were not convinced.
Suarez, you're a biter. What are you doing, man?
Louis managed to make the controversy a little bit bigger. Firstly, saying Ivanovic accepted his apology. There are conflicting reports on this. And secondly, by trying to mandate his own punishment, saying 3 games is, quote, enough, with Ian Iyer, board manager at Liverpool, supporting this.
Brendan's spoken to him, I've spoken to him, and Brendan will be working with him further on his discipline.
You've done it again! Where is the card?
Everyone thought this was...
No, you stay there.
Pretty ridiculous. As did the FA. The FA eventually charged Suarez and gave him a massive 10-match ban for his biting. Liverpool fans were irate. They felt, as Suarez did, the ban was much too long.
His reputation goes before him, doesn't it? That's the thing with Suarez. 10 games is too much.
He should be given a break. He's the player of the season.
Particularly smart fans discovered the true conspiracy behind it all.
Would have taken 3 or 4 games and a fine. FA equals Fergie Association. Yeah, why not?
Not really. The prevailing opinion seemed to be that the punishment didn't fit the crime.
I think it's the severity of the ban which is hurt most, because this is a guy that's been genuinely tried to curb his behaviour and change all his natural instincts. I think what we've got is we've got a punishment with absolutely no intention towards helping a rehabilitation of the player. And that's what's, as I said, that's what's disappointing, because, you maybe need a bit of help.
After all the resistance, Liverpool finally relented. Brendan Rodgers, begrudgingly, accepted the ban for Suarez and ruled out an appeal. Finally, it seemed they were on the same page as everyone else. And that should have been the end of things. It did become an enduring meme for English football.
Up against that way you are. I want to see Luis Suarez. I want to see a little bit of bite in the game. I don't want to see people going.
When you said when?
Sorry, I'm not clever enough.
Plus, I didn't know where to insert this Chinese news report, but it has to be seen to be believed. And that was the end of it.
And the biggest thing is, the objective is to make sure it doesn't happen again. Make sure it doesn't happen again. Happen again.
A mindless eating machine that will attack and devour anything. One terrified you like nothing you have ever experienced. Then, just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, 2 continued the legend and spread the fear. Next summer, nature's most terrifying creature takes on an all-new dimension in an all-new adventure. And for the first time, the terror of Jaws will not stop at the edge of
English Premier League.
Mr. Worldwide! Put your flags up in the...
World Cup time. Uruguay versus Italy. Italy. For football fans, a land of quality footballers. Inzaghi, Buffon, Balotelli. For Suarez, pizza, lasagna, and Chiellini.
Wait, what?
Oh, and a clash inside the penalty area involving Chiellini.
Here he is again, into the box. There's the first challenge. Oh dear. Oh dear, dear. Have another look. It looks to me, dare I say it, that he's had a little bite at Chiellini.
Surely not again. surely not again.
Fan reaction after the third bite was, well, more exasperated.
Louis, why? Why?
Suarez again was a naughty boy and tried to argue that he, and this is a direct quote, lost his balance, making his body unstable and making him fall on top of Chiellini. At that moment, he hit his face against the player, leaving a small bruise on his cheek and a strong pain in his teeth. Wow.
All right, Pie, I'm just gonna do this. Hop, 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 hop. And if you get eaten, it's your own fault. Hop, 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 hop. No! Oh!
He showed absolutely no remorse over his actions immediately after the game.
These situations arise on the pitch. I've collided with his shoulder. It drove me a little crazy too, but these things happen on the pitch. There's no need to make a story out of it.
Why are you the way that you are?
Even Liverpool diehards had no more patience for Suarez and finally condemned him.
But it's absolutely, totally unforgivable what he's done.
I'm disappointed. I'm gonna get him a dentist. Take all his teeth out and he'll stop biting people.
Sell him. He's a vampire. He bites too many people.
Many of the memes now appeared tired and stale. All that was left to do was firstly await the FIFA disciplinary decision, and secondly, for Suarez to apologise to Chiellini and see his disgusted response. As follows, at Luis16 Suarez. It's all forgotten. I hope FIFA will reduce your suspension?
Well, that was unexpected.
Yes, it's true. Chiellini was not only apologetic to Suarez for Suarez literally biting him, but also a year later said he admired Suarez for biting him. So that begs the question, what if we, the fans, the media, we were wrong the whole time? What if biting is just like diving? Maybe more disgusting and germy, but what about if they were both shithousing to win? And so, people started to put a bit of logic into something which seemed allergic to logic.
But when you think it through, I'd rather be bitten by Luis Suarez than have my leg broken.
This stunning revelation led to the conclusion of the saga. People actually started to celebrate the biting. You can't make this up. There was a trend amongst Uruguay supporters and World Cup fans. Hashtag Suarezing. This was taking a picture of yourself biting another fan and then adding it to Twitter. What? And just like that, the anger became simply a great World Cup meme. It helped that Uruguay got knocked out in the next match and Suarez got his just desserts. He didn't play in the next match due to being banned for biting. But what it proved was there was nothing that a World Cup couldn't fix. Not even Jaws Part 3. Cue flash games, Lego recreations, and heaps of drinking to go on to the next World Cup match and the next fiasco.
No.
Suarez biting was forgotten, condemned to footballing history. So long, and thanks for all the biting.
But wait! There's more!
After the bite itself was forgotten, there was still the, 4-month massive ban for Suarez to serve as punishment. Liverpool fans were understandably upset, but now they were like a sad wife, ready for a divorce.
I don't know what to say, he's a joke.
Do you think the club should get rid of him?
Yeah.
And so, with the ban and the reputation at Liverpool partly disintegrated, Suarez left for Barcelona and became a legend there. And, touch wood, never bit anyone ever again.
To all the fans there, don't worry for that because I don't do any more that.
In the end, everyone was happy. But Liverpool fans.
Why should I? You're lame, okay? You're just some lame...
Non-biting man.
Why does that make you so mad?
Because if you were gonna be some lame...
Non-biting man.
Why couldn't you have been that for me?
And that really was the end of it.
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, I was pretty adamant that Luis Suarez was going to stay a Liverpool player for another year. How the things you can say can come back to bite you in the future. No pun intended. Literally.
Luis Suarez.
Okay, I'm done now. If you liked what you saw today, bite that subscribe button, chomp on that like button, and see what appetizing stuff I've got for you next.